Welcome to Pretty and Well, the show where we raise the collective vibe. I'm your host, Mika, and if you are listening to this, hey boo! This is our very first episode of 2024, so that means we made it. Happy holiday season, happy new year. Today is a new day. It's Capricorn season. Y'all know I love Capricorns. My moon is in Capricorn. My mom is a Capricorn. My new niece, London, is a Capricorn. She was actually the first baby born at her hospital this year. Like, talk about GOAT. My niece is number one. But honestly, shout out to all the Capricorns out there. It is GOAT season, and I am so excited for the great things on the horizon. Let's get into today's episode. Unplugging for wellness, a digital detox. What do we mean by digital detox? Well, this is when you consciously reduce or eliminate electronic devices and technology. It's a way to disconnect from the constant digital engagement. It reduces stress and it improves your mental health. And you're also able to just regain a sense of balance. I mean, the parallels between our digital overuse and its impact on our mental health are so eerie. Studies have shown that excessive screen time and constant connectivity can correlate to increased stress, anxiety, depression, and even disrupted sleep patterns. The addictive nature of technology and then just the constant bombarding with information can also affect our attention spans and our cognitive abilities. That means our abilities to self-reflect, logical reasoning, introspection, and critical thinking. Like, it's affected by that. Unlimited screen time can affect your critical thinking skills. Like, wow. Let's go over some signs that you might need a digital detox. If you have difficulty focusing on a task because you're constantly checking your phone, maybe you have trouble falling asleep or even staying asleep because you need that late night screen time, you're scrolling in the middle of the night. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious just with the overload of information or just like the pressures that come from social media. Or you could even have physical symptoms like headaches or eye strain, or maybe even like posture-related discomfort from just excessively using that screen. You could be neglecting your responsibilities, not fulfilling your work or your personal or even social obligations just because you're so caught up in that digital world. And it can also be emotional impacts. You could be feeling irritable, or you could be comparing yourself negatively to other people online. One of my favorite quotes is, "Comparison is not your friend, period." Just keep that in your back pocket, okay? Also, just not accomplishing the tasks effectively just due to spending time scrolling. If you recognize any of these signs, it might be time for a digital detox. So let's talk strategies for detoxing. Some practical tips for starting a digital detox would be to first just set a clear goal. Define what you want to achieve from your detox. So that could look like reducing screen time, maybe improving sleep, or even reconnecting with your hobbies. Drop a comment below with a hobby you'd like to reconnect. If you could remember something, maybe you picked it up and just put it back down. I'm one of those people, like, I'll start a hobby and then start another and start another and start another. But I want to know if you have a hobby that you might like to reconnect with. The next step would be creating boundaries. You can set specific times or even locations where you don't allow devices. This could be like during your meals or maybe even before bedtime during your nighttime routine. Another thing you could do is inform others. Be upfront and let your family and friends and colleagues know that you're considering a detox, and that can help manage expectations as far as your availability online. Also, keep in mind you should start small. Take short breaks, or have just designated tech-free hours, and then gradually increase the duration. You can find alternatives, plan activities to replace the screen time. You can pick up a book and read. You can exercise, just go outside for a little bit. There's also apps and tools that you can utilize to track your screen time and or set timers, to limit that usage. Practice mindfulness. Engage in activities that are going to promote mindfulness, like maybe a quick meditation, maybe a quick yoga session, or simply just being present in the moment. And lastly, reflect and adjust. You should be regularly assessing your progress. Make adjustments where you need to, and then also don't forget to celebrate those small victories along the way. Now let's talk about some common challenges that could come during a detox. I think the biggest one would be like those withdrawal symptoms. Because initially you might experience anxiety or just like that fear of missing out due to the reduced connectivity. Of course, being bored, without those distractions, you might feel bored or maybe even unsure of what to do with your time. Social pressures, like your friends or colleagues, they might not understand or even respect your boundaries when it comes to you limiting your connectivity. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, feeling like you're missing something really important, or you're missing out on those updates or events while you're disconnected. And it could also just be a habitual reflex. Sometimes it's challenging to break the habit of just reaching for your phone out of habit, especially when you're just in your mind bored or having that idle time. But to really just address these challenges, it is helpful to stay committed. Remind yourself for the reasons why you want to go on this detox and the benefits that it'll bring for you. Always have an alternative activity. We talked about the hobbies, your exercise, or even just socializing in person to fill that time. Communicating with your tribe, your village, explaining your boundaries, and just letting your friends and family know that you need their support in this. It's also important to stay mindful and practice the techniques to manage anxiety or the FOMO, fear of missing out. And also just begin, with a short detox period and gradually increase. It's no need to do everything all in one day. Just take baby steps. Like day one could be unsubscribe and unfollow. Day two could be no social media until 9 a.m. Maybe day three would be no social media until lunch. And then day four would be no social media until 6 p.m. And day five could be the whole day. I mean, really, it's whatever works best for you. I know I have been very intentional about what I consume on social media. I set the boundary to just have a healthy relationship with social media. So I've been using it more as a tool to learn and grow. There were just certain platforms and accounts that I had to remove because your social media is honestly an extension of your energy. I just find it easier to navigate when I declutter and remove things that aren't in alignment with me and my vision. Like, I don't want you on my page, block Yana, period. Like, take a day to unfollow and unsubscribe, guys. Like, for real, it will change your experience on social media. I make it a point to follow and interact with things that bring me joy. I love apps like YouTube and Pinterest and TikTok, and that's really like my holy trinity for my content creating, and I'm just getting started. Now I want to discuss some strategies for a healthier tech routine after your detox. The first thing would be to set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries for your tech use, like no devices in certain rooms or certain hours of the day. Next would be to just allocate certain areas or spaces to be tech free, and that's just going to promote better sleep, focused meal times. Schedule your tech time. Plan specific periods for like checking your emails or checking your socials, or even just using your device, period, to just combat that mindless scrolling that can take over. Next would be to prioritize your offline activities. Schedule time for that hobby you've been wanting to try. Exercise, read a book, or just the in-person contact, as well as continuing to practice mindfulness. Be mindful of your tech use, take breaks, and just stay present in the moment. Next would be use your tech for enrichment. That is a major key game changer. Selectively use that technology for learning or creating or just staying connected with your meaningful relationships. And regularly assess. You need to be evaluating your habits and making adjustments where you need to, just to ensure that your habits are in alignment with your well-being goals. If you implement these strategies, you could really create a healthier relationship with technology that's going to allow you to reap its benefits while mitigating those negative impacts. If you made it to the end of this episode, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Thank you for sharing space with me. And if you found value in this episode, share it with a friend or just leave your thoughts in a comment below. I love, love, love hearing from my listeners. Like, it truly makes my heart happy. And if you never know, you might be able to help someone. But until next time, babes,